The forest on Zyrant Station. 12 was never supposed to be dangerous. It was a terraformed dome, a research biome designed to simulate wilderness for study and recreation, not survival. But as 27-year-old botanist Callan Ward knelt beside a creek collecting algae samples, he sensed something was wrong. The air held a sharp metallic scent, and birds, normally chattering like hyperactive children, were silent. Callan straightened, listening. Footsteps. More like a dragged weight. Heavy. Uneven. Struggling. He swallowed, scanning the tree line. Then something crashed through the brush. At first, he thought it was a large animal. But as the figure stumbled into the open, he saw the truth. It was a woman, though not human. 7 feet tall, muscular, her skin a deep violet marked with battle stripes. Her hair, long metallic silver, hung limp around her shoulders. She clutched her abdomen where blood, a shimmering cerulean, seeped between her fingers. Callan froze. A Carlon warrior. Every spacefaring species knew of them. Fierce. Territorial. Legends of battlefield courage and brutal efficiency. The kind of alien who could fold a human in half like cardboard. She staggered, grabbing a tree to keep from collapsing. Her obsidian eyes locked onto him. Wild, defensive, ready to kill if she had the strength. But she didn't. She dropped to her knees. Then she fell face first into the soil. For 3 seconds Callan considered running. For 3 more he simply stared, stunned. Then instinct kicked in. The same instinct that had led him to study healing plants, to volunteer in medlabs, to help injured creatures his whole life. He rushed to her side. Her breathing was rapid and shallow. Her pulse, a double-beat rhythm unlike a human's, fluttered weakly. A deep plasma burn carved across her abdomen, still smoking at the edges. Hey, stay with me. Can you hear me? Callan asked. Her eyelids flickered. Stand back, human, she rasped. I am dangerous. You're dying, he replied. Dangerous can wait. With trembling hands, he opened his field kit. He applied sealant foam to stop the bleeding, then used a water pack to clean the burn. Her jaw clenched as he worked, muscles rigid with pain, but she didn't lash out. When he tried to lift her to move her into his rover, she seized his wrist. Do not take me to your authorities, she whispered. Why? Her pupils narrowed. I am hunted. If they find me, they will finish what they started. Callan hesitated only a moment, then nodded. I won't. She released him, eyes softening in a way he didn't expect from a Carlon warrior. He drove her to his remote outpost cabin, little more than a laboratory with a bed and a micro-kitchen. Carefully, he laid her on the cot. She drifted in and out of consciousness as he treated her, giving her nutrient gel and analgesics. Hours passed before she finally slept. Only then did Callan allow himself to panic. He had harbored a hostile alien warrior, probably a criminal or soldier fleeing battle, inside a restricted research dome. If caught, he'd lose everything. Job, reputation, possibly even his freedom. But when he looked at her resting form, her breathing steady, her expression finally at peace, he knew he couldn't regret it. Middle. She awoke the next morning with a start, bolting upright. Reflexively, her arm shot out, grabbing Callan by the throat. She lifted him effortlessly. Whoa, stop. You're safe, he choked. For a tense second her eyes darted around, taking in her surroundings. Slowly she lowered him. Shame flickered across her face. I reacted, she muttered. Instinct. No kidding. He rubbed his neck. You nearly solved my overdue bills problem. Her head tilted. What does that mean? It means I would have died. It was a joke. She blinked at him. Humans make strange jokes. And your people nearly make me pass out before breakfast. A faint rumble vibrated from her chest, a Karlon laugh. She introduced herself as Vishara, a warrior commander who had been betrayed by her own squad during what was supposed to be a diplomatic escort mission outside the station. They struck her down and left her for dead after accusing her of treason she didn't commit. I escaped into the human sector, she said, but I did not expect to find kindness. It wasn't kindness, Callan said. Just what anyone decent would do. No, she studied him carefully. Many would have let me die. He busied himself preparing food. His hands shook slightly, but he tried to hide it. When he approached with a plate of nutrient-infused root mash, Vishara eyed it suspiciously. Is this a bonding ritual? It's breakfast. She took a bite, paused, then devoured the rest in seconds. Acceptable, she declared, which Callan took as high praise. Over the next days he tended to her wounds. In return, she helped repair his broken habitat systems, moving equipment no human could lift. She sharpened tools, cleaned the filters, upgraded the security grid. She was fierce, blunt, occasionally terrifying, but also surprisingly patient, curious, and deeply honorable. She listened to Callan talk about plants, about Earth, about the small dreams he carried but never voiced to anyone. You live quietly, she observed one evening. Is that a bad thing? It is unusual. Yet I find it calming. He smiled. You're not what people say about your kind. And you, she replied, are not what I expected of yours. Their bond grew slowly but undeniably. There were moments, quiet ones, when Vishara would watch him with an expression Callan couldn't quite decipher. Protective, grateful, something deeper. But danger lurked. One night alarms blared. Vishara stiffened. They found me, she whispered. The traitorous Karlon squad descended on the dome, armed and searching. Callan's outpost shook as they breached the perimeter. You must hide, Vishara ordered. They will kill you for helping me. I'm not leaving you. Her eyes widened at his defiance. Human. Callan. I cannot let your life end because of mine. Then don't die, he said firmly. Side by side they fought. Callan used stunner traps and sonic repellents he'd originally built to deter wildlife. Vishara moved like lightning, disarming and overwhelming her pursuers despite her injuries. By dawn, the traitors were defeated and detained. Evidence Vishara collected during the battle cleared her name and exposed their conspiracy. She was a hero again. But when the authorities offered her transport back to her people, Vishara didn't immediately accept. She stood outside Callan's cabin, helmet in hand, staring at him. You restored my honor, she said softly. You healed me, fed me, defended me. Among my kind, such acts are not casual. It's what friends do, Callan replied. She stepped closer. Among Karlon, it is what one does for a chosen life bond. Callan's breath caught. You mean like a mate? She nodded. You showed courage, compassion. And despite your small frame, she added gently, you possess a heart like a star, bright, relentless. His cheeks burned crimson. And what do you want, Vishara? He asked quietly. She clasped his hand, the one that had first touched her wound in the forest. To stay, she said. If you will have me. Ending. Life with Vishara was nothing Callan expected, and everything he never knew he needed. She rebuilt the outpost into a fortress garden, combining Karlon tech with human ecology. Together they grew hybrid crops, studied interspecies botany, and strengthened bonds between their worlds. Rumors spread of the human botanist who nursed a warrior back to life, and of the warrior who refused to leave his side. Years later, during a quiet evening beneath the dome's artificial sunset, Vishara wrapped her arms around him. "You once saved me when I could offer nothing," she murmured. "You fed a starving, wounded stranger. Now I am your shield, your ally. And as your people say, your wife. And you," Callan said, kissing her hand, "are the best thing I ever found in these woods." Her deep, resonant laugh filled the air as she lifted him clean off the ground in a celebratory embrace. And though the galaxy remained dangerous, unpredictable, and vast, Callan never felt safer than in the arms of the warrior he once saved, a warrior who now called him husband.